This wasn't my idea. I'll be 100% honest. I wasn't planning this at all. I was planning to honky-dory honky-tonk, do something else today, but I just don't have the energy. Someone stabbed me in the back, essentially. Let me put it like this. Someone said, hey, you can do it. We're gonna host 2 sessions, and you can do, like, the dungeon mastering on the Saturday. And I'll do the other match we got on the Sunday. And he's like, oh, I talked to everyone, and they all want to join in on your campaign, so we're going to do yours on Sunday, and we're going to... Like, Jesus Christ, man. Why isn't that your opening sentence either? Like, when I show up to the voice chat that we organize for the Dungeons & Dragons, or for, like, random talk, why isn't the first thing you say, by the way, we decided to postpone that thing? Is that okay? And I'm like, okay, that's okay. He didn't even ask me if it was okay. In fact, I'm going to say that to him right now. There. Why did I not think of that sooner? Because I don't really think about things too much. I don't like to think things through. It just causes problems for people. Ah, my Aeon. I think this is a bit more Dutch to say. It's kind of weird, because sometimes it's like, I could say that, and it is something more natural, but at the same time, it's a little bit stiffer to understand. This is a bit more aggressive. It's a little bit more like, just go for it and stab me until I deflate if you have to. It's a weird way of saying it, but that's how the Dutch say it. That's not like, that's like a leak. There, gotta capture that. Sorry, my left nostril decides to be the open nostril today, which means that you're gonna be hearing a lot of breathing into the microphone. Oh, actually, putting the microphone down a little bit kind of helps. Sort of. That's my lips. This is not fun. I don't like my left nostril being open for a lot of reasons. Hannah's being so weird in this date. Yeah, but she never actually... Does she ever really use the needle? Because the thing is, she probably already stabbed you with the needle at the beginning of the game. Like, maybe you skipped that part, but wouldn't... Why is that... Like, let me just go over this real fast. This is a significant detail. Like, there should be a part that's like, if you already had your blood taken, she doesn't ask. She's already like, I assume you're alright with a couple of needles, and then you could say something else. But no, it doesn't bring that up at all. This seems like a pretty important detail to bring up. Like, the earlier part, it even specifies that something goes into your hand and stabs you. I know that if you, perhaps you would have known, you'd have been different, but I don't think drawing blood is something that just happens. Ugh. It's very demeaning. That's demeaning as heck. Oh. Although, if you shrink it down, that's not how you spell patient. That's not how you spell patient at all. Yeah, it's paciente. But you're not gonna... My internet has been acting up in very strange ways lately. It might just be this computer specifically, but it's causing all kinds of hiccups. Might just be the cable, actually. Okay. Well, I'll just borrow that letter. Hope you don't mind. I don't think you ever cry in that sense. Like, you really seem very resistant to the desire to cry. It's also kind of interesting that she's like, oh. And this facepalm is a very oddly set up sentence. Like, she is off the... What is going on in this conversation? Because this... Like, I know she could be sarcastic, but put some brackets. Like, put the italics there. The thing about the helmet, why would it fit? The dragons do not have... Like, they have skulls, yes. But none of the dragons have skulls that resemble human skulls. They seem to be flatter, somewhat shorter. They're not human. Especially with the horns, you know. Again, why is she so much sad? Embarrassing. Please help me out here. Gênant. What a word. Yeah, I love how nothing is one of the answers. Which is also, like, none of these give you anything. Ah, the translation's going nice and smooth today. I'm gonna add a little sass in here, because it's kind of fitting for you to be sassy. Why is she, again, being sad about this? Like, what is her mood at the moment? She's constantly face-palming and being sad. I'm such a shit whiny baby. Such a whiny baby. I love saying that. Ah! Whiny baby. Ah! I just love the tonation about it. Gives me the tickles. The good tickles. The tickles. I like this. Maybe we do for a doctor with the right title, but it doesn't make it any more embarrassing. There, that's a bit better. Not maybe, just yeah. It's just stabbing her because she's only a doctor in pharmaceuticals, which is not the kind of doctor you tend to imagine taking off your clothes for. Usually you take off your clothes for someone with, I don't know. Do you? Do you? Still, it's a nice... If it's correct, it's fine, but otherwise it's like, well, it's not every doctor. It's not like a doctor of, like, physics. We don't take... What kind of doctor would be in a medical practice? I don't know. I wonder how their AC system works, since they're a lot less bothered by temperature, or at least heat. I wonder how bothered they are by cold. This is a good one. It's the social and cultural norms for most people. It's a bit more flat, but it explains it. There is a word for this. That's not what I wanted to do. That's... there it is, Adam's costume. That reference doesn't actually work. Like, sure, it's a funny one, but I don't think they know who Adam is. Would they? I like this. I like this a bit more. It's a bit more... Like, as you can see, we, dragons that is, have no problem with how we're born. It's a bit more wondering why it would be a social norm to dress up yourself. Like, is it shame? It's probably shame. But it's more generic shame. It's really weird that humans don't have fur as much as they do. Like, it's kind of a unique trait. I mean, sure, other animals have it too, but, you know, all things considered, it's not the most common trait. It's not the norm. Humans are weird. Oh, so gross with their... Ugh. Ugh. That being said, wouldn't want to find fur in my drainage pipes. Would have drastically altered the way hygiene is handled. Or how you wipe your butt. Ew! Probably wouldn't have toilet papers. It'd be all bidets. Because fuck, you can't rub toilet paper on that, man. You just can't. You can try, but it's hard to clean individual bits of fur. Just saying. It's also why cleaning in general would be kind of hard. Probably wouldn't have, like, armpit sweat as much. Because you wouldn't sweat as much to begin with. These are things to consider when you're thinking about making a species. I like this. It's a bit of a rewrite, but it holds the concept true. Luckily, we dragons have scales that are perfect insulators from heat and cold, as you could have seen earlier. Although you only saw my heat resistance, I assure you that I can handle ice just as well. Which would kind of... actually, if it's just the scales, wouldn't that mean that their internal body temperature would fuck up if they started eating... Like, they eat ice cream! Which is something you don't want to do if you have strong insulating scale... Like, what I'm trying to say is, it's kind of unusual that a species that handles temperatures in that way would start eating something that is drastically different from their internal temperature. Like, I can understand eating lukewarm food that's room temperature, but ice cream? A little weirder. I mean, humans, they are... I guess it depends. I imagine it would give them a thrill. Be like, ooh. But it wouldn't make them resistant to ice. Like, they couldn't just bite it and not get brain freeze. That's what I was... That's the point I was trying to make. I had nothing about dragons eating ice cream. It was the fact that their scales wouldn't insulate them from the inside. So them eating ice cream would still give them severe brain freeze. If they ate it wrong. This is a bit different. It cares same. You'll know when it's too cold when I turn blue. Just a bit more. Yeah, you should really watch out with warming someone up. don't warm up too quickly either, because that can do a lot of damage too. But don't, like, take too long either. Just like everything in life, you want to take it in with due consideration. Don't use cold on a heat wound. Use just lukewarm water to at least, you know, get the excessive temperature out. Like lukewarm, like kind of like but not too cold. I think all this is a shame. Oh, it's such a shame you can't kill you. Yeah, it would be more interesting if you had to actively select an option that's the dots are just like, okay. Yeah, I did mention the head-shaped thing, and then it comes... You see, I like that when that happens, and I'm very angry when it doesn't, because clearly enough thought was given to think about some basic aspects, but then some other things don't come up as much. It's a fair point. Like, she doesn't have, like, human nature and wrist. Actually, it wouldn't. The thing about brains is that if your head shape is different, your brain is different! You can have a larger small brain, you can have a larger brainstem. The rest of the space might just be used for muscles. The thing is, just because it fits doesn't mean you're gonna get all the data. Which is kinda sad. I'm excited to elaborate this one a bit more. How do you know this machine won't harm me? I mean, you can handle heat and cold better than I can, and you're more resistant to damage. And they're like, you know where I'm going with this. You see this weird... Why is this taking so long? God, what is with this internet today? Like, I wonder if it's the service. If it's them or me. Physiology. That was a word I don't use too often. It's a bit different, but it's a bit more comical at the same time. Like, why not throw in a little joke? Let's hope that your physiology looks enough like ours that it won't cause too many problems. Because Anna's a bit of a snap. Like, she's going back and forth. I probably should just stick to the flat one. Although she's being normal, she's not being sad. The problem with this particular saying is that Anna wouldn't know what the fuck it is, because this is actually a reference to a boat. I think it's reference to a boat. There's a play about a boat that essentially gets fucked. because the asshole who made it was like, ha ha ha, I'm going to make a shit boat and kill everyone on it. For reasons I don't even know. I don't remember why. But essentially it's a boat in like olden days. Because fun fact, even back in the day, shit sucked. And essentially people could send down a boat and they die. They tried their best, but they fucking die because the boat was not meant to come back. Wink wink, not nut. This is a bit different because I don't think we have a proper term for polygraph test. Let's see if we do. But I don't think you probably know, you do have psychology. But the thing that gets me is, is all of this a lie detector. It's a bit more logical to say, it's like all of this equipment just to detect lies. Yeah, this. I don't get this. Because it can reach it, and it can do it, but it's just like on the first go, and mostly on the first go, just complain about stuff. Wait, why is it going to listen to Dungeons & Dragons deities? That's not the page I'd go to. Great, now everything is just acting up. We'll have to wait until the polygraph test machine. What the hell is going on? I don't even know. It was doing all kinds of stuff. Now there's a Pokemon. Why is Pokemon Beware? I was telling God, Jesus. God. Oh. Ugh. See this. Oh. Lie detector. That's a fair point. You need to have a baseline to work with. What a weird... Like, I understand that it's supposed to be like you're on a date with... Like, you're testing, but it really feels like a date in weird places. Ugh. Apparently you get it, though. Just say no and you'll be fine. Say no, kids! Say no to drugs! Why isn't that a question she asks? Would you do drugs if I told you to? No! If they had that... I wonder if they do. Like, I can't help but imagine that dragons would eventually find something. Because what a drug really is your body responds weirdly to things. So, even if you're a genetically engineered creature, you would have certain, like, drug-like responses. Where you would either have pleasure or pain... Or, like alcohol, you just feel weird. Fun fact, alcohol doesn't make you feel good. You just feel really, really weird. The numbness that people tend to say is, oh, I like the numbness. That's not a good feeling. That's like saying you're happy to be angry. Like, what kind of tastes do you have? I understand that if your life's shit and all you feel is misery, then being able to not think about misery is great. But, I don't know. At that point, you gotta wonder whether the money is well spent or not. You got better places to spend it. But that being said, that's kind of the big problem. Self-control and a sense of helplessness. Which are not easy to get rid of. Let me tell you that much. Even I struggle, and I've been putting a lot of effort into it. Ugh. I wanted to add something about it not being possible to do a polygraph test, but ugh. The thing that gets me about the facepalm is it's always the same expression. I feel there should have been another one. I don't know what, though. But it just feels always so angry when you're going to be laughing or sad. I don't know. There's more ways to palm your face than to be angry. The problem with this question is this probably is your favorite color. Which makes the no part kind of weird. Like, wouldn't it be more interesting if your character be like, how do you know? You know. What? Why is she sad, though? This comes up so much. She uses her sad expression a lot. For no reason. It's like, there's the slightest, tiniest bit of, like, minimal friction. Of, like, oh. And then she just goes, no! This is like if all Darth Vader did is every single time he has to say no. Even if it's, like, a positive no, he just goes, no! It would have been more interesting to go, niet! Go different kinds of no. I don't know how you're convicted. I don't know if you're convicted on, or evicted because, or evicted through. I don't know. I think it's for. Because of. I like to. It would have been funny if you had said no on this one, on this first one, where she's like, ah, I shouldn't have to make you do it. Like this one. Oh, this one's actually a lot earlier. Like that one. If you say no to that one, she specifically comments on like, oh, I should have known. I should have known. Oh, you're still saying no. I wonder if, like, the whole crime thing is she wants to know about you. This is a bit weird to phrase it, but it kind of... It helps set it down. Like, are you here with other motivations? Or is everything like we have it on paper? Like, is the deal as established the only reason? One tiny thing that gets me is these electrodes are usually attached to your chest. The funny thing about this is that like, here's the thing. There should be an option where, like, if you're a female player and you're doing this and you're in it, like you are the PC, wouldn't you be additionally uncomfortable? Well, I guess she is a lady. It would have been worse if she, I don't know. Does that transfer? I don't know if that's a transferable property. Like, if it's another species of the same gender, is it still as bad? Because I always had the impression it's not as bad. It could still be just as bad. But the thing is, there should have been an option that's like, you know, we usually don't even take, like, our shirts off, you know, like something like that, but it doesn't come up. It's a very male-oriented thing. Like, people complain about the male gaze. I feel that the male gaze is missing here as a... I mean, whatever you think it's right or not, I'm pretty sure that if you are a lady, you'd have a few more objections to taking off some layers. If only because women tend to wear layers because the clothing they have is garbage in terms of insulation. It's intentionally made garbage so that you'll buy more. Isn't that just hilarious? Women's are getting ripped off, and it's not that fun. And then people are like, just buy men's clothes. And then they're like, no! And I'm like, well, you know, you kind of walked into that one. I mean, like, a lot of hygiene products, it's like, okay, this is shaving cream for women. It's the same product, and people buy it because of the social connotations. Like with shaving equipment, it's different. Apparently, you actually need to have a different shaving device because women shave under different conditions than men do, so you need a different machine for different purposes and different types of hair. But for certain chemical mixtures, it's bullshit, and you're just buying into it because you're too afraid that you'll be seen as a tomboy or something like that. It's not going to do you any good. And if you're the man who buys that because he wants to feel ladylike, well, congratulations, you just paid extra money for nothing but a label. I hope that pink ink they used was actually worth extra money. It's the only reason it costs more, is the label was more expensive to design. Of course, the artist will never see the money because it was made in contract, which means that it's already owned by the company and he has no right to royalties. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Like, I know that not every person has that kind of problem, and some men don't like showing their chest. Which actually means that they should have just had a part where you're like, if you say, don't feel okay being nude, you get an option. It's not normal for humans to show their chest, or anything. It's okay for humans to show their chest, but not like the private parts. Or it can be like, I don't want to be nude at all. Or I want to be nude all the time. You know, you could establish, like, levels of, like, how you feel, and then Anna's like, okay. And she can bring it up later. Like, when she takes off your clothes, she's like, listen, I know you told me you don't want this. God, now I need to bring that up in the chat, too. Like, God. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so angry. Angry. I like the little cat. Cat no banana. Ah! Why do I like that one so much? Oh. I like this one. I kept it simple and asked questions that would elicit a response when they were asked. That is right, isn't it? And you're like, yeah. It's a twist, but it kind of feels a bit more natural of like, I ask questions because they elicit a response. And it's like, they did, didn't they? Because if someone asks you about your criminal record, you're going to be suspicious of them asking that. Like, it doesn't matter if you've done anything or not. That's not a question you just ask someone, even if it's for an interrogation like this. So it elicits a response, as was intended. But yeah, like, I still feel upset about the whole... Like, there's so much about this date that just makes me think, what the hell is going on with this game at this point? Like, Remy's date features a lot of things that would have been better as, like, small-off encounters or part of the main storyline, and now we're getting all these things that are just missed opportunities and the character acting weird. Maybe that's just the point. Maybe the whole point is that Anna's so emotionally unstable that at this point, because she's finally opening up to someone or feeling any emotional response to someone whatsoever, she's going off the deep end emotionally, and it's just... Whoop! But... I don't know. Like, similar with Bryce's alcoholism, there's not enough done in that direction to make things clear. Oh my god. What the fuck is that title? Councilman resigned after secret furry life revealed. I'm going to read that article. I kind of want to link it. I think I'm going to stop here. We've actually gone, like, more lines than usual, which is nice. Actually, let's go on just a little bit. What do the dragons take with them when they go to the human world? Like, do they take their advanced equipment, or do they mostly take personal possessions? I imagine it would be very useful to take a machine that could build circuitry or something. Like, whatever they work or not, things being deep-fried by the solar radiation, you could use extras, in general. I wonder how hard this room is to get. Like, it's a very advanced and, like, broad... Like, this room does a lot of things. It scans your body. It apparently has electrodes and, like, lie detectors. There's a lot going on in this room. Fun fact, you usually don't have a CAT scanner or, like, a CRT machine in the same room you keep your polygraphs. If only because they're vastly different pieces of equipment. You want to know why? Because that way, you can have someone take the polygraph test and someone getting scanned at the same time without that person being like, I don't want to be nude for this. Just saying. I understand dragons might have less, like, sense of privacy or personal shame, but come on! Build different rooms. It makes it easier to replace things without having to shut down the whole area. Fun fact, every single one of your openings secretes some sort of liquid. That's a fun fact. Everything. You got boogers in your nose, you got wax in your ears, you got tears in your eyes, you got goobers on your tongue. You got a whole bunch of liquids going on down in the private region. And your butt secretes lubricants too. Like everything that goes outside. Your nails don't. You think your nails would, but they're not really an opening per se. Oh yeah, your nostrils, boogers, I said that one already. There's really not a lot of entrances into the human body, are there? You might say, but what about the boobies? Fun thing about the boobies, they're sweat glands. And your sweat glands protrude sweat, just like your mammaries produce mammary fluids, which are just repurposed sweat. Now that sounds gross, but it's kind of like saying... How do I put this? I'm pretty sure you could draw parallels between your boogers and your mucus produced by your... Like, you could probably draw parallels between your tears, your snot, and your saliva. Because they're very similar liquids with very similar functions. They're supposed to make shit go out. That being said, there's a lot of enzymes in your spit that digest things, which is very different. But you could draw parallels between your boogers and your tears and your earwax, since they all serve the purpose of keeping shit out. It's also why your poop doesn't stick to your butt when it's well lubricated. I assume that's why. Ah, nothing like a well naturally lubricated butt. You can't slide on it though, because it doesn't go... This conversation is going far off the edge, but I think everything that's necessary has been established. The thing that gets me is, why is this a bad thing? Like, everything considered, Anna is very... Ooh. Maybe she's just very vanilla. She's like, I don't want anyone. There's only one person in this room who can answer that. What does that mean? Oh yeah, she, because does she want to? I guess that's a fancy answer. But why is this the good... What is going on with her at this point? Why did you skip the procedure? Why? He is an alien life form that resembles what is essentially God to you people. And you're not like, let's do some tests and make sure we're not going to War of the Worlds ourselves into oblivion. Because I don't care what alien species comes down to Earth, we're going to put those fuckers in quarantine. They can be the king of the universe, we're not going to take that risk. Unless, of course, they wear suits and they're like, we're perfectly sterile, don't worry about it. And we'll have to take their word, because it's kind of rude if someone walks up to you in a hazmat suit and he's like, I'm sterile, and you're like, no, you're not. That's mean. That being said, who knows what comes out of that ship of theirs? Did they sterilize the whole ship and the whole loading bay? I doubt it. I'll be honest. I love to wiggle my finger like Mario does in the Paper Marios when he wins a battle. He waves his little finger at the screen. He's like, ah, I like it. Oh, such a nice little finger waggle. Waggle your fingers, kids, and maybe you'll learn something about well-lubricated butts. Whee!